It is good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Is that the most energy? Good morning, everybody. As you all know, my name is Mike Gallagher, and I have the privilege of serving as the program director for the YMCA NJ Youth Government program, and it is my distinct privilege to welcome you all to the 2014 YMCA Youth Government. So before we start, I do want to just open up with a few remarks and go to a few speakers who will be speaking throughout the course of this morning. 5 weeks ago, we all descended upon Monroe, and I gave you guys a few quick items to think about. Now, I know a lot of times when I speak, some people listen and some people don't. Up to you, whatever you want to do. But I'm actually curious if anybody remembers any of the 3 tasks or goals I asked all of you to keep in mind during the course of pre-ledge and hopefully now at Congress. Anybody who's not an officer? Okay, so get comfortable being uncomfortable, that's one. Anybody else? Oh, you don't remember that one, really? Okay, so as always, I always started with get comfortable being uncomfortable, 2 being dare to fail, and 3 being embracing one another. All right, and again, 3 very generic and broad items, but I ask that you keep them all in mind throughout the course of today. But to kind of cement that, I do want to share a quick story. So the Officer Corps here, we actually have a Facebook page that goes on throughout the year. One of the items I posted, I think about 3 weeks ago, was a TED Talk about everyday leadership. And this spoke about different ways to lead that don't, aggrandize what the concept of being a leader is all about. And being a leader is just taking the little initiatives to say little things to people that make an impact. So one of the questions that they posed in the TED Talk was, when was the last, so I guess I'll ask it this way. Raise your hand if you've had someone in your life impact you in some positive way. And please keep your hands up. I would expect just about all of you guys here now. Please keep them up. Now, keep your hand up if you actually took the time to share with that person or persons that you made an impact in my life. Now you see there's a lot of hands that went down. You can all put your hands down. That's your exercise for this weekend, thank you. So one of the things I'll share with you is it's so easy yet difficult to make such an impact in someone's life, but it's beyond easy to just share with that person that they did have a material impact, to just share with them a few words to say, thank you for saying this, or thank you for being there, or thank you for doing this. And that impact that you're returning upon that individual person speaks more volumes than any speech or any words that you put together could really do, just in that simple act of thanking someone. And I'll share a quick story. I actually have another story in mind, but it actually happened very quickly this morning. So one of the officers came up to me very bitterly. I don't want to actually say names because I don't want to make anybody feel singled out. This officer came to me and said, I just had one of those like aha moments with a kid, with a delegate. And she ended up sharing with me and saying that this person came up, said thank you, 1, for giving me feedback on my bill, 2, thank you for arranging the day of service. I went to XYZ site and I had an absolutely amazing time and I want to thank you for doing it. And 3, I know your position, and your position is the one that I ultimately want to be. Those are 3 impactful things that are very simple in nature, but this officer, who's sitting pretty much right in front of me, actually came running over to me immediately and said, I had to share that with you, because for me, that's just it's very empowering for me to feel that we do so much work and we try to impact people, and we try to give all of you a venue to really improve upon what you're doing here, civically, within your communities at large. And just to have someone come up and tell me that just made everything that I did worthwhile. And I ask all of you to share that with one another. It doesn't take a lot, and it only takes 5 seconds to share with someone, thank you for saying that, or thank you for being there, or thank you for supporting me. And I ask all of you guys to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's not something that you would say to someone every day. 2, dare to fail, because in the off chance that you catch someone in a bad mood, they may not really respond very well to it or very quickly to it, though, how often are you going to turn someone down without thanking you for something? And then 3, embrace one another. And that quick little story embodies everything. And that's everyday leadership. And do that for one another, and share that, and let that chain connect. And before you know it, you'll all be sharing those kind of moments with one another throughout the entire weekend. So those are my 3 tasks with the one story, and I hope you will embrace it today, tomorrow, after conference, and hopefully to some extent for the rest of your lives. So thank you all for listening. So before we get started, we did have a legacy subcommittee of the officers who did a lot of diligence to try to get some speakers involved. We do have some speakers throughout the course of the conference. One will be here this afternoon or this evening. One will actually be here on Sunday for closing. But one of the individuals who had actually originally committed to speak and then had a prior engagement actually recorded a message for us and then in turn asked us to play at that conference. So it is from Congressman Rush Holt.